Hello, everybody. A warm welcome to Wisdom from North, the Nordic platform for accelerated inner growth and empowerment. I'm Jannike, and if you're new to my channel, welcome here. I would love for you to subscribe, then you get new notifications of videos with amazing spiritual teachers and authors, as well as my own video blogs. Now, today you're going to meet the wonderful Nereeda McInnes. Nereeda is a best-selling author of The Truth of Your Reality. She just came out with a new book called What If? She is a business and a life coach and the creator of Ned Talks. And she is one of our masterclass teachers in Wisdom from North membership. And there she teaches the class, Create Your Spiritual Business or Mission-Based Project. And here she's basically giving you a step-by-step process on how to set up and create your spiritual business. And you can read all about the membership and the class in the link below. Now, let's meet Nereeda. Hello, Nereeda. How are you doing? And welcome.
Oh, thank you so much, Jannike. It's so awesome to be here. Thanks for that intro. I loved it.
I love connecting with you, and I'm super, super grateful and thankful for your beautiful masterclass in our membership, where you talk about how we can create our spiritual business and mission-based projects. And I want to speak about that today and many other things, because I know you have a new book out, and I've interviewed you many times before, and it seems like your business is evolving all the time and that you're really open to change. And I love that, following your intuition. However, I'd love to speak about a spiritual business today, because I know there's so many out there like me and like you who really want to follow your dreams, and perhaps your purpose is related to a mission-based project or a profession. Like sometimes I believe a purpose or a life mission doesn't have to be a profession. It can be something you're supposed to experience in life, meeting your soulmate, your twin soul, healing something, but it can also be actually a profession. And like Oprah Winfrey is like a classic example of really having her profession being a purpose. That's from my perspective. But starting a business is not always just easy peasy. So I'd love to hear, how did you manage this transition, Nereeda? You had a very secure job, a corporate job, and then you felt this urge to do something else. Like, take us through what happened.
Yeah, well, I can remember being in my office job. I was lucky I worked with some awesome people. I just had this feeling inside me like I had to get out. Like I didn't know exactly what it looked like yet, but I just knew that I was supposed to be doing my own thing. And it really got so strong that I just went, all right, I got to do it. I'm doing this, and I'm going to leave my corporate job. And looking back now, it was, that's about 7 years ago now. It feels crazy to think that I actually did it, but I'm so grateful that I did. I took that step. And, for me, I didn't even have my website set up yet. I didn't have everything clear. I had a bit of an idea of what I wanted to do, but it wasn't super clear. But I just knew I had to do it. And I wouldn't recommend that to everyone. I'd probably, if you're working and you're not quite clear yet, maybe wait. But for me, that's what I had to do. That's what I had to do. And I sort of jumped full face first into the water and just went for the swim. And that's sort of where I landed. And now I'm so grateful I did. But there are, of course, like you said, there are obstacles in the way. Or as I like to call them, they're challenges, they're opportunities to grow, because these things happen for us to be challenged and to sort of, I guess, test us in a way, if we want to use that word, to see, is this what you really want to be doing? Or can you do this? Or will you grow with this? So I think those sort of things happen along the way. And I think we've talked about this before in different episodes. It's like it's a personal development journey as well. You're working through so many things. You've got, you're facing your fears at different times, and you've just got to keep going through it. And that's when you grow along the way. Yeah.
Yeah. We just talked about it with our members that this journey of creating a business has just made me or forced me to really look into my fears and to really step up and become much more courageous. And I've always wanted, to create something, but my fears just, um, showed up immediately and told me all the reasons why I couldn't do it. So I had to face all these shadows. So for me, I've had, I think, the biggest growth after I actually started a company. And I also needed to look at my beliefs about money, especially. And that was like a chapter in itself, because from my perspective and my story, I had this idea that I couldn't be spiritual and help other people at the same time as making money and having abundance. That didn't go together. So I needed to look at that belief system and look at what is that really about? Why can't I have a spirituality and abundance? Why can't they go together? And it was actually a few courses, for instance, with T. Harv Eker, and that speaks a lot about this, that started to open my mind that these can go together. And I'm so grateful for that, because if I wouldn't create a business, I would never have, I think, discovered these limiting beliefs about money. Like I had these beliefs that money might corrupt people, money is bad, all those thoughts. And now I've even created a course about it, like how spirituality and money goes together. Was that something that you met along the way?
Oh, yes, definitely. Oh, I really feel like and I don't think you and I are alone in this. I think you don't know it's there until you are really faced with things. You've got to set prices for your business. You think, oh, should I be doing more or doing less? What is this worth? And it's a real challenge. And I think it still happens. Like I follow other people as well who say that they hit a ceiling and then they think, oh, shivers, should I be going more or less or whatever? But it's definitely one that's there for all of us, I think. Well, maybe not all of us, but it definitely, you have these limiting beliefs come up. Am I worth it? Am I worth charging this? Or, like I said, should we be doing more? So it does come up, definitely. So it is one that I've had to face for sure.
Now, take us into your why. Like in the masterclass, you speak about many elements, and I wanted to just focus on a few of them today. Knowing your why, what does that mean, and why is that important?
Well, I think in just the simplest way, when you're working on your own and you're working for yourself, you're going to have days that are crappy days. You're going to have those days where you go, what am I doing? What am I doing? Nothing's working. Is this all worth it? Why am I even here? And what you want to remember is your why in those times. You want to remember why you started, and you want to remember why you're showing up. So that's why I think it's so important to get clear on your why and know what you stand for and what you're about. And so when you do have those days when you might be struggling, and of course they're not every day, you can have days where you're just on top of the moon, but it's important to know that. But also in saying that, when you're working with other people, they can feel and resonate with your why as well. And you want to attract people who get what you're about, who can pick up what you're putting down, so to speak. They're the people you want to be working with. You want to be working with like-minded people, so that you could, loving what you do. You don't want to be bashing your head against a wall either. Yeah, I think it's really important to be really clear on that. And you may sort of evolve it along the way, and that's more than fine. But just knowing why you're showing up and what you're about, I think is really important, not only in business, but also in life. When you're doing different things, why am I doing this thing? Why am I taking this dance class? Is it because I'm supposed to be doing this, or am I doing this for the right reasons? It's really getting clear on that. And as I just said, for the right reasons, is knowing what your reasons are. And that's a self-development, personal growth thing in itself. So why am I actually doing this? What is it that I'm here for? I think that's really important.
I love that. That is, to me, living with intention, right? Like being really aware why you're doing what you're doing. And when you start to ask those questions, that might be a bit scary in the beginning, because sometimes we do things out of fear, right? So am I doing this out of love or out of fear? And not to judge any of it, but becoming aware of what is running in behind here. What is the software program running in the back here? So your why, can that be like a sentence you have in your head? Or is it more like a general just feeling, I want to serve people, something like that?
I think it's good to get it down on paper, and it might be a sentence, it might be a paragraph, it might be something that you refer to. It's something that you embody as well. But knowing it and embodying it, writing it down and being clear about it, I think that really serves not only other people, but yourself, because you know why you're there. You know what you will always remember why you started.
And you also speak about the importance of being you, that is actually part of the steps, and very important one, to be you. What do you mean by that?
Well, that means being you. And I can tell you, I promise you this, that you start something and you are going to get braver and braver as you go, because you think you need to show up a certain way. You see, like you said before, you see other people doing different things. Am I supposed to be doing it like that, or should I be doing it like that? But when you be yourself, when you allow yourself to be as authentic as possible, and I think it comes with practice as well, especially if you're doing things like videos and things like that, people resonate with the true you. And the thing is, it's going to get really bloody exhausting if you try and show up being someone else, because then you're going to have to keep up a persona that isn't you anyway. So you want to be yourself, and you want to infuse that into everything that you do, because you want to love and enjoy the journey that you're on. So I think it's just absolutely vital that you show up and be yourself, and allow yourself to grow and muddle and get it wrong sometimes. It doesn't matter. It's all part of it. Everyone else does it, so you're allowed to as well. So this is coming from a recovering perfectionist. So it's one of those things, you just got to go with it.
And again, back to that, personal development and creating a business goes hand in hand, like being you. What is that, right? So again, it demands some awareness about who am I? And I know that you're speaking from experience, and you also say your vibe attracts your tribe. I love that, because that's sort of, what you're saying here, that your vibe will attract those people who are meant to come to you. And I see that you're doing this because you just created Ned Talks, and I just feel that you're so authentic in it, and you're using a lot of humor, and you're so you're giving so much space to your personality in a way. It's like you're giving yourself room to be whatever you are, and I love that. Just started watching your YouTube videos, and your personality just comes through, that you're not censoring yourself at all. And I love that. So talk a little bit about how you have sort of allowed yourself to be fully you.
Thank you for saying that, Yannicka. Yeah, it's like I said before, it's a real evolution, and I think we'll say this forever. It's that personal growth thing. You're stepping more and more into being you. And with Ned Talks, it's just I'm the most relaxed that I've ever been. I'm like, all right, I'm doing this. I've got a silly personality. I will do silly jokes sometimes. You're gonna get a bad dad joke. It's just who I am. So it's just allowing yourself to be free. And sometimes I watch them, I'm like, what am I doing? Did I just say that in real life? My God. But, that's me. That's what I would do anyway. So, just allowing yourself, like you said, I like what you said about just allowing the space to be who you are and showing up just as you. So yeah, it's definitely been a real journey, and you just think, okay, imagine where we are right now. How will we be in another 5 years? You know, it's just, yeah. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the journey. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, I've got to get some better dad jokes, but I'm working on it.
And also, I love, like I said in the beginning, how you are open to change. And I think we talked about this in Wisdom for North membership with you as well, that sometimes we have a clear idea that that's what I want to do. And then the business just changes and shifts into a new direction. And if we are resistant towards that, I think we're stopping the flow, because the business is sort of has its own life and its own energy as well, which is really magical. I really experienced that Wisdom from North has its own energy, and it's sort of a being that I can speak to and communicate to and meditate on. And you're very open to change. Like recently, you just created a new book, wrote a new book, and you had this program that you were helping entrepreneurs, and now you sort of moved over to Ned Talks because that felt more right. So can you speak a little bit about how your business is changing and evolving?
Sure. I think that is one thing. Like, we think it's going to look like something and it starts moving. And this is why, and I know you teach a lot of this as well too, is following our intuition and following that path. And sometimes, like, along the way, I'll be like, really, what are you telling me to do now? Like, I was doing this and now you want me to do that. And you sort of, but you have to follow that. And it may not always make sense, but if that inner guidance, when we're connected to that, we know we need to make a shift. And sometimes it's only a slight shift. And so with me, I knew that it was time to do Ned Talks. It was time to bring out some more videos, more personality, and get that happening. And I was ready to write a new book. Bless you.
Thank you. I was trying to hold that in.
You can't do that. You'll explode. Oh, that's gold. But yeah, so you've got to be open and flexible and allow yourself to evolve, because otherwise you might get stagnant and you might sort of stay in a place and then you're not growing anymore. And we kind of have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable and knowing, okay, I'm being guided to go this way now. And even though I'm not exactly sure what it's fully going to look like, I got to go that way because that feels right for me. If I'm going the other, if you find yourself starting to force things and push things, I think that's when you can get caught up, because you're trying so hard to make things happen. And then when you're trying too hard and you're kind of getting that push back, you kind of go, all right, maybe I just have to still myself and follow my intuition, because that's where it needs to go. And, drop into meditation and say, okay, what am I here to do? So yeah, does that make sense? Yeah, I think
yeah, a lot. And tell us about this new book that you have. It just came out, right?
Yes. So it's just come out. It's called What If? Questions to inspire, provoke thought, and expand your consciousness. And it's not your normal kind of book. So it's actually a book full of a multitude of what if questions. So there's a question on every page, a what if question, and people can flick to a page or they can read it from cover to cover. But each question is designed to get you thinking deeply and pondering things. And there's a chance there might be a couple of silly ones in there too, just to mix it up. So they're there. You can use the book itself as a workbook, or you might like to keep that nice and clean, which I do, and then write in a notebook your ideas and things that come through, your downloads and insights from different questions. So some of the questions are maybe quite challenging or confronting, and some are more lighthearted, but they're all there just to expand our mind and to get us thinking or inspired to do something new.
Can you give an example of what if?
A what if? Oh gosh. So I did a funny one, like what if the noise coming from the elderly lady in the grocery store wasn't the wheels of her trolley? So that's a little bit of bad fart joke there. Sorry about that, everyone. But then there's what if truth is really stranger than fiction? So there's another one there. So each one, there's no sort of particular order. Each page will bring things out, and to get us look deeply, or just to even take a breath and think about a question, and think about something that we normally wouldn't. And some of the questions, like one of the questions is, what if we remembered to breathe? Because so many of us we're always busy going around doing our thing, and we forget to just go. And I know when I was reading through my book to do the edits and make sure things were happening, every time I got to that what if question, I would actually stop and breathe. And I was like, that is a good reminder. So these questions have come through to me, and I've just downloaded them in the way that I have, and then they've turned out to be a book. So it's a different book of sorts, but yeah, it's definitely been fun creating it. And I also think there might be an opportunity for it being another book, because I think everyone else will have their own what if questions, and they might send them in, or or maybe people will create their own, because once you start asking questions, you undoubtedly have more questions from that. So yeah.
I really love the concept of the book. It's really powerful. Instead of, what we usually know, books with a lot of information, giving to the reader is actually contemplating themselves, sort of finding answers, or like you said, asking more questions. And often the questions are more important than the answer. Just living a question, contemplating on a question is very powerful.
Definitely.
So I feel like you're tapping into some deep wisdom there, even though you have a lot of fun things as well there. That's wisdom too. It seems like it's actually a really deep book that can reveal a lot of layers we have and open our minds to a bigger reality, actually. Like you said, what if truth is, what if reality
what if,
is,
yeah, what if truth is really stranger than fiction?
right. And that opens the mind in so many ways. So that's really beautiful. Wow. All right. Is there any advice on the top of your head that you could give to a starting up entrepreneur who wants to start a spiritual business and is like, okay, where do I start? What is the first step?
Okay, well, the very first step is having an idea, I think, having an idea of what you want to do. And, you might not know exactly what it looks like, but you want to do something, which was a bit like me. Start researching, start looking online, look at what other people are doing. You might be watching Yannicka from Wisdom from North and think, wow, she is amazing. I would love to do something like that. Look at what she does. They say success leaves clues. So look at what different people are doing. What do you resonate with? What feels good for you? What excites you? Because you're going to be doing this yourself. You don't want to create a job. You want to create something that you just love getting out of bed for every single day. So I would start there. I would get the idea happening and look into things that you love doing and see how you can incorporate that into what you do. And allow yourself to learn and unlearn and be open to different ideas coming in, and meeting with awesome people, and, meditating on it. Just see how it comes in. It's exciting too. So if you are starting a business, I'm really happy for you. It's exciting. It's going to be so much fun. And there's so much you're going to learn along the way. And it's going to be the biggest personal development journey you'll ever go on as well.
That is for sure. And for everybody watching, if you want more details and more support, you have access, or the opportunity to get access to Nereeda's beautiful and powerful class in Wisdom from North membership. And the link is right below. And I also wanted to say that what I met in the beginning of fear was because I was inspired by another woman. That's where I got the idea of Wisdom from North. And I was very afraid of copying her. And perhaps a lot of other people might have that feeling that I don't want to steal the idea. It's been already created. Why should I do the same? But I created it in my way. And what I also did was actually write that woman a message. And I said, I want to start sort of the same, like you're doing, just in my own way. I hope I'm allowed to do it. Looking back, I'm like, obviously I'm allowed to do it, but I just really loved her work. And I felt like it was right to ask for her permission. And I just got a lot of hearts back, and I was like, okay, great, now I can start. And that just felt right for me. Yeah, because she had the idea, you know, traveling around interviewing people, and I wanted to do the same. And now actually I've received emails like, Jannica, just started my own video series and interview series or podcast because I saw you did it. And I love that, like how we're inspiring each other. And it cannot be similar. It will be different. Like you were saying, your vibe attracts your tribe. So we won't copy people. We get inspired.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So just wanted to throw that out there. Don't hold back. Feel like you're stealing anything. You are just getting inspired, and follow that hunch and believe that that intuition or download was meant for you for a reason. And another thing, if you don't act on the idea, another person will do it.
So true. So true.
Thank you so much, Nereeda. I'm excited about your book. I hope it reaches many people. And thank you so much for your beautiful masterclass as well.
Oh, thank you so much, Jannica. I've loved being part of the Wisdom from North masterclass. It's just so much fun, and for being with you again today. So thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching, everybody. Much light from Norway and Australia. Bye-bye.